with that all down, let's move on to this, shall we?
To Messiah.
Spider-Man 4. Of course, also known as Spider-Man Brand New Day. And all I can think about is the WWE tag team. But Brand New Day is coming. And a rumor started circulating around that the main co-star of that was going to be Dr. Banner and Hulk. I guess much likened unto the way that Tony Stark and Iron Man was kind of like the other MCU representative in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yesterday, I was doing an open mic show, and somebody specifically wrote in and say, hey, have you heard this rumor? And what do you think about it? And my response was, I don't believe it. It's not coming from one of the major trades. It was coming from a source that has had a couple things right before, granted, but I said, so I have no insider information. I'm not saying I know it's not true, but I don't believe it. Following up that, a friend of mine who caught the show texted me and said, look, I can't tell you anything definitive, but I think there is something to this. Again, don't take that as definitive. Don't take that as confirmation, but just this person I know who is in an interesting position wrote me and said, there may be something to this. And on top of that, now some of the other trades are some of the other sites are running it. For example, this one comes to us from Superhero Hype, who's writing Spider-Man 4 rumor reveals Hulk's role in Brand New Day. This is what they wrote. A brand new Spider-Man 4 rumor has surfaced online teasing the possible return of Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner / Hulk. Both Ruffalo and Tom Holland are currently not part of the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie. It goes on to say, in a new report, Marvel Studios has reportedly tapped Ruffalo to star opposite Holland in the highly anticipated Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. The rumor also claimed that the Oscar-nominated actor, being Mark Ruffalo, appearance would be bigger than a cameo. Should Ruffalo's casting be true, this would mark the Hulk's big screen comeback after 2019's Avengers Endgame. Fans had last seen Ruffalo playing the titular hero in a few episodes of 2022's She-Hulk Attorney at Law. All right. So, I love Hulk. I think out of all the wonderful, magnificent things that the Russo brothers have done in the MCU, which is a long list of wins, the one thing that I think they really dropped the ball on was Hulk and how they ultimately nerfed him. Like, Hulk should be the ultimate nuclear option.
They made him ashamed of his powers.
Well, and that's fine too. I mean, look, Banner historically has always been about how do I get rid of Hulk.
He would be ashamed, but I mean the Hulk itself.
Yeah.
But
I mean, when you go back to the first Avengers movie, again, even like Hulk being in there, it was kind of like Loki's key part of his plan. You brought the monster. Mm-hmm. You know, all that kind of, he was the nuclear option, and now he goes to family barbecues in Hawaiian shirts. And I will never understand how they nerfed him that badly. Maybe this could be the beginning process of getting us back a real Hulk. Again, because again, Hulk should be, he's the problem. Listen, the Hulk is such a problem in the comics that the Illuminati themselves had to get together and say, what the hell are we going to do about Hulk? And the only answer they had was, shoot him into space, man, because he's just that big of a problem. And again, now he's like bringing sausages to family barbecues. And if they could do something in this movie while still maintaining a Spider-Man movie, it's not a Hulk movie, it's a Spider-Man movie, but that kind of starts to the process of getting us back to a real Hulk again, I would be all for it. Also, the other reason this would make sense is, don't forget, despite what you may hear, Marvel still does not have the rights to, they do have the rights to make, but then they don't have the rights to distribute. Marvel essentially right now can't make a standalone Hulk movie.
Right.
If you want Hulk, he's got to be a character in somebody else's film or in a larger ensemble film still. So I love Hulk. I love Mark Ruffalo playing him. Again, that Hulk, when we first meet Mark Ruffalo in that first Avengers movie, and he's like, I couldn't live with it anymore, so I put a bullet in my mouth. The other guy spit it out. Like, get us that back. All right, hey, little guy, like get this freaking Hulk back. Anyway, I would be very excited if this is true. I can myself not say I super believe the report, although again, I am being told there may be more to it. Okay, that's fine. I will just say that if this is true, I'm all for it. Give us more Hulk on screen, provided, and don't forget, Daniel's the guy directing this, the guy who directed Shang-Chi. I have all the faith in the world in him. If he can start nudging us back to a true Hulk again, I would be very happy about that. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Ridge. Hey guys, listen, I love this thing. This is my Ridge wallet, and honestly, I think it's the last wallet I'll probably ever need. I used to carry around this huge, bulky leather beast stuffed with receipts, old cards, and frankly, way too much junk. It messed up my back when I would sit down on it with my back pocket, and since switching to Ridge, game changer. This thing is sleek, compact, holds up to 12 cards plus cash, and it still fits perfectly in my front pocket. I've got the carbon fiber one. It's ridiculously durable and looks amazing. You can choose from over 50 different colors and styles too. And in today's world, this part is key. It's got RFID blocking tech built in so you can keep your info safe from digital thieves. Peace of mind and style? Absolutely. Another added bonus is if you're like me and constantly misplacing your stuff, they even have an AirTag attachment so you can always know where your wallet is. And to make this even better, Ridge gives you free shipping, a 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all of their products, wallets, key cases, even suitcases. Right now, Ridge is having their huge Memorial Day sale. Get up to 40% off at ridge.com/Campea. That's ridge.com/Campea. And after you buy, tell them our show sent you because it helps a lot. Anyway, Rob, you've heard this rumor that Hulk is going to be a key player in Spider-Man. I mean, not a co-star, but maybe something more along the lines to what he was in Thor Ragnarok, something more like what Iron Man was in Spider-Man No Way or Homecoming. What would you think about this?
Well, I tend to buy it, and I'll tell you why. Because Peter Parker is a scientist. You know, Peter Parker, while no one remembers who Peter Parker is, and I don't know how he's going to get himself into college, but whether he's going to go to wherever he's going to go, the one person that Peter Parker, knowing he knows who he is, but the Avengers have forgotten Peter Parker. They know Spider-Man. Peter Parker could reach out to Banner. He's the only person they could bond over science. The same way that Peter Parker, if you, not the Tom Holland version, but how we saw Tobey Maguire have a relationship with other scientists, you know, like Willem Dafoe or the Lizard, you know, or Andrew having the Lizard relationship. It makes sense to me that he would reach out to Hulk, that he would reach out to Banner, because they could bond on the science tip. And maybe Peter Parker would have a way to convince Banner who he is, like where he came from, what's going on. So that makes sense. And I think that it wouldn't be like a Tony Stark relationship, but it could be something they're almost like equals in a way. I mean, Hulk is Hulk, but in terms of their scientific knowledge.
Well, I don't think Peter's quite as smart as Banner.
He's more, I mean, because he's who he is, he's more of a dude bro. You know, the Hulk, the banner of Endgame, at least, was more like he's more approachable. He's more of a normal guy than, say, you know, crazy scientist. So I think Peter Parker realizes I can reach out to him and I can get to him. Like I could talk to him. I can't tell him who I am, but we can have something. And I think that relationship makes sense.
Could he not tell him who he is?
What? I think he'd have to ease into it.
Right.
You know, because how are you going to explain who you are if no one remembers Peter Parker?
All he has to do is show up and then take off the mask. By the way, my name's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's true.
But also the last time people knew his identity, it was this huge kerfuffle. So he's probably going to be a little more close to the vest.
Yeah,
with that
that's
one.
true. Yeah. Anyway, Chris, what do you think about the rumor? And would you like it? And do you think it's true?
I love it. I buy it. I think it's great because Peter needs a new dad. I mean, mentor. And so he has to have that figure step up. And interestingly, in the comics, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Rob, they don't really have long form team ups between Hulk and Spider-Man.
No, but
there's a couple like 2 or 3 issue things like the Revenge of the Sinister Six. There's an identity theft one between like him, Deadpool, and Hulk. There's a couple things, but the science bros aspect of this is really what I like about it.
Yeah.
And I do like the idea of, I think Peter Parker has the potential to be smarter than Bruce Banner. I like that idea because we also remember we often don't see a fully aged Peter Parker
Yeah,
aside from like old man
exactly.
Spidey
That's
or
my
a few
thing.
things when they have kids and things like that. But for the most part, Peter Parker is perpetually a teenager or in his 20s. And I love the idea of Bruce Banner mentoring somebody who is potentially more intelligent than him, but also somebody who will place safeguards around those they love and themselves. Because that's really the messed up thing when it comes down to Bruce, is that he was so willing to experiment on himself. And that's what I find so interesting about his character. And that's not something we dive into too much in these stories. Peter is somebody who, sure, in certain iterations, tinkers around, right, with his own webbing or things like that. But he's never one for self-experimenting. He's not one for trying to put other people in peril. He is always thinking of others and their safety first. And I think that's an interesting line to walk with somebody like Bruce, who is always thinking about how he is so capable of destroying everyone around them. And to have Peter, who has an inkling of that fear as a mentee, I think would be really, really fascinating.
Yeah. I
Somebody
totally agree
in
with
the
all that.
live chat dropped in a suggestion. What about if Hulk's the antagonist of the film? That becomes a problem because I don't want to upset any Spider-Man fans, but what's Spider-Man going to do against Hulk?
And also, we just saw that in Captain America 4.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah, and
Oh,
that wasn't
was-
even the Hulk.
Yeah.
that was a Walmart Hulk, with a different version of Captain America.
Which also might have had an effect on Banner's Hulk in terms of his standing. People are not going to trust him either.
I don't think they really do anyway,
But I mean, it's after seeing the Red Hulk go crazy,
yeah.
Yeah.
what Banner's like, hey man, I don't deserve this. What is this?
Look, I still like a lot of people, a lot
both
of the
need friends.
Marvel fans will come out and still talk about they need to do World War Hulk. And I don't think they're ever going to do it. Frankly, I don't think they're ever going to do World War Hulk, but I would love them to. I would love them to. And now that you got Sentry in the MCU, if you guys know the story, I mean, ultimately that's what it comes down to. It just comes down to Hulk versus Sentry, and it's epic.
Do you think they'd do it as a what if, but like maybe a special?
Oh, that would be a very expensive special.
Sure.
Bisley art.
But
Might be.
I'd be down for it. I mean, Marvel has yet to have the testicular fortitude to do a what if movie or to do a standalone like the Batman or Joker. They haven't shown that they've got the guts to do it. But I mean, look, it's not too late to angle a story like that.
Yeah.
And I would love to see it. But listen, if this is a movie, this Spider-Man that can not immediately just have Hulk show up and he's angry Hulk again, but just have something in it, have a part of it that is going to have him start the transition back to the more traditional Hulk, I'd be all for it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? There are really ultimately two questions here. Number one, do you believe the rumor that's going around? There may be reasons to believe it. But number two, just for the sake of the discussion, would you like that? Would you like Hulk being the other character in a Spider-Man movie? Maybe you think it should be somebody else. A lot of people want it to be Daredevil, but we already know they're not going to bring Daredevil into the movie. So whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.